morning. Ohayou gozaimasu. Okay, first things first, the stream today is going to be a short one. It was supposed to be test printing on the new gift print. Where are we here? Sound has arrived. So, it was supposed to be test printing on the gift print. I was up a little bit last night. And it turns out when I came here this morning to start this, I forgot to moisten the paper last night. So I have no moistened paper for the test printing. So a few minutes ago, I quickly, with my brush, I'm stealing Kawai-san's bench here. I quickly, with my brush, moistened it. But I can't print with it. So what I can do is, what I was going to do was carefully do some test printing. Put the Urabadan on this, do a couple, then do a bit of show and tell. Yeah, paper's out of the freezer just now. Just now. As I came to sit here just now, paper's out of the freezer. So what I was going to do was a nice slow test printing, this and that. Maybe just get halfway through it, do a bit of show and tell, and come back later this evening and do it. But I can't do that. The paper is dry. So plan B is this. What I can do is I can do the first stage of the test printing, which is this, to take each sheet, put them on the board here and rub the back of it, making the paper flat, calendaring it. Sometimes I do that in the big press out there. You've seen me do that for just 4 sheets. It's no point getting the press out, so we just do it by hand on the back of this paper. But then I can't print on it because the paper's just been stretched and it shrinks and swells and shrinks and swells. And there's no way I can do test printing. The point of the test printing is to check registration. So we can't do a full test printing this morning. So what I'll do is I'll do the Urabadan on this one and explain what I'm doing while I do it. And then maybe do the show and tell, and then just get back to work downstairs. So we'll just have a short little stream this morning. I'm sorry. There is so much stuff on my desk now. We're having a ton of fun. It's absolutely fun. Like, oh my God, I'm just paddling to stay alive here, to stay awake, to stay ahead of everything. So like 5 minutes ago, before I didn't even have time to get the video plugged in, 5 minutes ago we'll do this. So what's happening here is this. We have 2 of these blank blocks here in the workshop. And there's confusion between what they are. Maybe you can see on the back of this one. In Japanese, maru means okay, X means no good. So when a kid gets his test back from the teacher, the circled ones mean the ones that are correct. The X ones are no good. And it says, okay for Urabadan, no good, X wa meko suri. Meko ita. Meko suri. Why did you write meko suri? It's a meko ita. There's 2 jobs we need a blank block for. One is the one we're going to do right now, just using a blank block with no pigment, just a flattened paper. Another reason we use blank blocks is when we're preparing the baron. When we're tying the baron skin, we use a pair of scissors, which are over here, right next to the stapler. We put the baron skin and we rub like crazy on it to flatten the baron skin. But the back of the scissors damages the block. It leaves little striations in the block. So the girls are really, really careful. This piece of wood must be kept perfectly flat. This is for flattening the paper, and another block which sits next to it. And the reason we've got these messages, it's written on all 4 sides, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this, is because we've had, too many people screwing it up. But anyway, so what I need is a good strong baron, which I've got here. I need some interleaving paper to go on the back of the sheets here. And let me just do this. This is soaking wet paper. I just moistened it a few minutes ago. I'm going to put it face down on a blank block. I don't need that much here. You gotta do it. Beautiful, nice and smooth, but now really stretched, and it's totally unstable for the next couple of hours. That piece of little paper is too small. Kawai-san, let me keep them here. Let me get a larger piece. Excuse me a sec. Okay, guys, where is your stock? Those are regular Japanese scissors, traditional style. I mean, modern scissors in Japan look the same as anywhere else. These are traditional Japanese scissors. Nowadays, we look at these and we think of, wow, these are bonsai scissors, because the bonsai people still use the traditional shape. And I think for bonsai, because of the large handles and the small blades, there's really a huge leverage. So it's really, really strong in there. Every household has them. I think people use them in tailoring and in bonsai, but of course there's normal scissors all over the place. The kids have some here. Anyway, Dave, do some work. Very nice. This reminds me of Sugi-san yesterday. Sugi-san at the bench over the other side of the room here. She's currently printing the job from our catalog that we entitled Stork in Rain. It's a Urushibara image. Are you sure you don't want to put these to the press? The press is heavy. Last time I picked it up, I pulled my back out. What I was saying with Sugi-san yesterday, she's printing the Urushibara image of Stork in Rain. And it's got a black background. But in the middle of it is a lot of karazuri on the bird feathers. So she can't do this job on that paper because it flattens it too much and you lose your embossing. So when she's printing the black, she prints it this kind of density, and it's hard work. She was up here all day doing that. We came up to talk to her. Visitors came yesterday. We came up to talk to her, and she just waves us off. No talk, can't talk. And she was sweating, just sweating. It's not summer here, you know, it's getting a bit chilly. She got her workout yesterday. The guest, by the way, the guest was Sawaki-san, the papermaker. We had a good chat yesterday with the papermaker. He was here for some kind of show, TV show, visiting an TV studio downtown. And stopped by for a couple of hours. We had a long, good talk. He was here with his assistant, and he looked at our samples of paper and what we've been doing, what we're trying to do, and he looked at paper and tore it in half, and looked at the fibers, and looked at the kozo that's waiting here. We had a lot of good discussion about this, and he's got some ideas on how he can change things at his end to make the paper more useful for us. And from the discussions, we get some ideas about how we can change the paper at this end, change the way we do things at this end. So we're another step closer to getting another good set of paper online. We still don't have it worked out yet, but we're not giving up, and we're moving forward. And the hints we had in the discussion yesterday will surely help, I think. Colors are different for every user. I think so. Are they just implemented randomly for each person? I'm seeing Ken Howard as bright red, Dead Steve as purple, Satori HS as a teal green, Kodingami as a light green, John Becker as a sky blue. Two sheets left in today's work. Frozen Runner now looks the same as John Becker. Is that how it works? I'm not sure what to do about this work then. I can't save it for tomorrow. This has got to be done. I think what I'm going to do is when Suga-san gets here, I'm going to steal her and ask her to put her homework away and do this with me this afternoon. This morning I'm on party duty. We're low staff today. We're short for staff again. We've got full parties today. Yeah, paper calendar. So it doesn't totally flatten the texture of the paper, but what it does is, I don't know, it's impossible to show you, I think, on a camera like this. There's a roughness in the front of the paper. Well, whatever, there's a roughness, and this smooths it out, this flattens it out. Print by print, we need to do this. Sometimes we don't, sometimes we do. When this print goes into production a few days from now, we'll of course be doing this work on the press. And because they're so small, we'll put these on the press bed 4 at a time and calendar them 4 at a time. Or maybe even possibly calendar them in groups before we cut the paper. All right, there it is. There's the 8 sheets calendar. Next step is test printing, but as I said, I can't do that because For those of you who are late here, I am really late. I was supposed to moisten this paper last night for today's job, and I forgot. I was pretty laid up last night, and it was the last thing I was supposed to do before going to bed, and I forgot. So I discovered that like at 15 minutes before the stream started this morning, 15, 20 minutes ago. So I've just moistened it just now. I just splashed water onto it in the newspaper right now. And there's no way it's stable enough to print. It's still absorbing water. I've just stretched it, so I can't do my test printing this morning as planned. What I was going to do was do a slow, careful test printing. I haven't got the pigments mixed yet. And then do a small show and tell, and then wrap it up. But I can't do the printing. So the only other thing I've got is I've got the small show and tell material, which actually is fun. It's the material I've got prepared for the next David's Choice video. So shall we look at this? What else can I say? Have to move the camera, I think. Where do we start? Let me get this out and then figure out where to put the camera. Hang on a sec. If I bring it round over my shoulder, just excuse me a moment here. Earthquake. You'd rather see show and tell than me printing anyway. I tell you, we've got enough stuff in the collection to do this every day, but I shouldn't do it. Oh, what you've got here. We've talked about this before, that back in the first half, I guess, of the 20th century is the best way to describe it. It became common from, say, around the 1910s or 1920s, 30s, and then a little bit post-war. It became really common for groups of people to get together for fun, a little bit of drinking, a little bit of coffee, whatever level they were, and collect small prints and chat with each other and talk about the next project and do some sketches, and then do things like, for example, go on a hiking trip and then come back down and have a set of prints made to commemorate the trip, you know, the 10th time they climbed Mount Fuji or whatever, just some kind of event that needed commemoration. And these groups of people, and they were always men, this is the way it was a men's hobby. Women weren't interested in this kind of thing. It was a men's hobby. And they gathered together in these groups, anywhere from 10, 20, 30 people to a couple hundred at a time. And they would have this association and decide on a project, and then they would have prints made. Let me start with finding an example of one of these sets. Here we are. Okay, here's the set. I'll do it from a distance first. Let's get a... What can I put as a board in here? If I put these up, hang on a sec. If I put this here, put this up on it, is that going to be better? All right, all right. So again, this is a little album. One of the group members has made his own album and he's pasted his stuff into it. And what we see here is one of the complete sets of the little prints that these people would commission to have made. The group would discuss, hey, what's our next project going to be? And at one point they must have had a project of, this looks like famous places or something in Tokyo at that time. Let me see if I can find my glasses. This one is Tokyo Meisho Shu. Okay, Greater Tokyo Famous Places Collection. So it's I think these are separate, but it's this group of famous places in Tokyo. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So they must, and one for the cover. So they commissioned a hunger workshop, a printmaking workshop, to make these things for them. And then once the prints came back, they cut them up, shut them up, put them in little envelopes, and spread them around among the members. It's a bit confusing here. This is actually the envelope they came in. Let me find a better example. Here, sometimes they would be in an envelope like this. No. Here, there's an envelope for that set like this. This envelope, forget about these two for a minute. You can see it's been folded. This was the cover sheet, and these little prints went inside the envelope. And they would have been made in groups of probably, this is a set of 12, so my guess they would have been made a group of 6 and then 6, and then carved and printed on one block. And they are very, very nicely made. And it was a cool thing and a cool hobby. And I think it must be some way to revive this kind of thing, you know, having a group of people together who commission sets of prints like this. These weren't published by a publisher and then sent out for sale. These were commissioned by the hobbyists. And what did they do with them when they got in? When they got them, they just stuck them in albums like this. In this particular group, there's no identifying material about here. This is, the guy's name Oda, and I think he was the leader of this group, so his name is on this one, or maybe he ponied up the money for this one completely by himself. I don't know. What have we got here? This is the Nijubashi, the bridge that was in the old days one of the entrances to old Edo Castle. This, we know what this is. This is the Hozomon, or in that time the Niomon, the gate for Sensoji, Asakusa. This is one of the bridges. It must be gone now. This might be Azumabashi. I don't know. I can't read the writing. It's too small here. Hang on a sec. Kiyosubashi desu. What's this? This is Hibiya. It's the one of the major public buildings in Hibiya Park. This is Chikatetsu. One of the subways. That looks like the Ginza line, the old Ginza line. Oops. Ginza. Not sure what this one is. It's an old public building. It's like there's the Budokan now, but this is not the Budokan. I don't know what it is. Marubir, one of the very famous first office-type buildings in front of Tokyo Station. A statue somewhere. I can't read the writing here. I don't know where it is. Another statue in Ueno. This is Ueno Park, it says. So the statue at the entrance to Ueno Park. This is Sengakuji, the 47 Ronin are dead. And this is Ueno Station. It must have been, again, it was a real big deal in those days, so it's a giant big station. And this is Akasaka, the palace at Akasaka. So they just took scenes of Tokyo. There's no deep meaning here, just something, it was an excuse to have some beautiful little prints made. And this went on through years and years and years, through the Taisho period, through the early Showa. It stopped during the war, of course. Then after the war, there was attempts made to try and revive the custom. And our friend Doisa, he's a member of a group that has tried to have prints like this made. What's this one? I should have done some research before I tried to show this to you. This is Showa. Well, get my glasses on, glasses off, glasses on, glasses on. This is Showa 13. And what is the theme here? Can anybody figure out what this is? I think these are rebuses. Again, this is wordplay. I think these are rebuses. It's wordplay, which means I am out of the game here. Yeah, it is. It's punning. It's the same as down on Dempo Indori near here. They've taken a bunch of things like this. They've taken a famous phrase and changed one or two syllables and made it into a funny picture. How can I explain in English? I should have made some samples ready first. I don't know. Okay, this is a stupid example. Whatever. You meet somebody and you say, "Nice day, isn't it?" No problem, just two guys talking, "Nice day, isn't it?" But suppose you change one syllable and you say, "Rice day, isn't it?" And in the meantime, the background is like rice falling out of the sky. So it's just a stupid little game pun like that. One syllable of something is changed, which changes the meaning, and they've made a picture to match this changed meaning. And my Japanese is not good. It's not, I said "nice day, isn't it?" But it was a phrase that was common or something like that. And at the time when we do some of these in the video, we'll sit down, try and work out what they say, and try and figure out the joke that they've made. And like, why do this? Is it worth it? But it's just an excuse to make another bunch of nice, beautiful little woodblock prints. These ones all have a different name on them, so my guess is the guys in the group, each one contributed one of these ideas. The printmaking workshop would then run it up for them, and away they go. What's the next? It's continuation. This next group is a continuation from this one. Utamaru 12ヶ月 Wordplay. This group is similar. All these groups here are all quite similar. There's different stuff coming up. Now, this is different now. What is this? There's a date on here. This is Showa 13, same year we had before. This is Showa 11. So these are about different random stuff here put together. That's Showa 11. And a bunch of random stuff mixed in here. Some of these are actual match labels, it looks like. This is an actual label from a matchbox. Mixed in here, the sets here are not complete. Yeah, these are random, this group. This one's all a bit random. Let's go to the other book. This book's got a lot more complete sets. Hang on a sec. Here's what I paid for these. It's at 25,000 yen. 25,000 yen I paid for this a few years ago at a bookshop in Kanda, Genkido. $25,000, 25,000 yen. What's that? That's about $250. These things are not cheap. Lots of collectors are chasing these. These are funny colors. This is Taisho era colors. A kabuki set. Here we go. You get a set of 12 kabuki. Do we have the full set? Yes, we have the full set. Kabuki actors' names. They've all been done in the style of a kanban. What do you call it? A signboard outside the kabuki. And these are uncut. This is an uncut set. That's how they would have been printed. In this case, 4 up. And they're marked January, February, March, April. This is a full uncut set. Featuring 12 kabuki actors. And this is Showa 9. Which I think is sometime in the 1930s, I think. Very, very nicely made. For us to try and make these now would be just stupendous. We couldn't possibly afford this. Way too many colors, way too many. Oh, this is a nice set. Here we are. This is world locations, a set of 12 world locations. There's the envelope they would have come in. This one hasn't been folded. And there's the 12 prints. Let's zoom in a bit and have a look at these. These are very roughly made. These are like a real rough type of shinhanga design. You know where number 1 is. So they've put these in English, I think, with spellings. Yeah, interesting spellings coming up here. China. These are really, really rough designs. Russia. Oops, with the spelling. It's also, too, what is their classic image? I mean, what is their thinking? They're thinking of Japan. This is near the Emperor's Palace. China is a pagoda and a peasant on a donkey. Russia is, of course, winter sleigh. What's the India is somebody riding an elephant, and what is it? The Taj Mahal behind it. Egypt, that's the classic image of Egypt. Here's a nice spelling for the word Itali. A little bit of R and L. Germany. That must be one of the old airships. Interesting. But where is this? Is that Germany or New York? Those airships used to go across. These are 1930s, right? And it doesn't say France, it says French, and I guess that's the Arc de Triomphe, is it, or something? I don't know. And speaking of Oranda, which is their word for the Netherlands, Holland, we know what that's going to be. I love the R and L spellings. Switzerland. England we get. And America. It's funny, they're good fun. And the world globe with Japan outlined. I'd love to get all these scanned and put into a website. All right, this is a big set. Where's it going? It ends here. This is, I can't give you, I don't know, the whole, I don't know, story here. You all know it. It's the story of the 47 Ronin, the Chushingura story. Basic outline: in the palace, there's a fight between some retainers and some people in the palace. The guy who did it is exiled, sent out. His retainers hold their grudge for years and years and years. There's lots of plotting going on, backstories, endless backstories. The 47 guys wait their time, bide their time. Finally, at some point, they attack the palace of the dude who wronged their master. They kill him, and they have to commit suicide, the 47 of them, and their graves. We saw their graves earlier. It's a long famous story. And this is a set of prints showing episodes from that story. And this would have been an expensive little project. 10, 20, 24 prints in all in the story, in the set. Nijuyon. This is Chushingura, the 24 prints. That's the closing paper. And I don't seem to have the envelope for this one. It's not put in this set. So we have the 24 prints and one closing paper from it. That was a major undertaking. What else we got? More individual prints, not from sets. No idea. So much research needs to be done on these to figure out what they are. Here's another set. I'm not sure. This is half. This is not woodblock. These are commercially printed, very roughly, poorly printed. Here's another small set. What is this? A set of 10? That's not usually sets of 10. What's the common point to this set? No idea. Folk tales? Something Buddhist, something folk tales? No idea. Oh, this is local for me. This is the two guards at the Neomon Gate here, now called the Hozomon Gate here in Asakusa. The two guards in front of Sensoji Temple. We've seen this before. That's the other set we saw, the 12 places in Tokyo. I've got a double. travel set. What's this? This is Taisho era women. I think these two are out. These are different. It's the title here is a set of 12. I don't know, Sugata. I don't know, 12 poses of women. These are the 12. Again, very Taisho era feel here to these. Is it the same woman? No, different haircuts. No. All summery, very summery. Oh, it says, so it is. Summer fashions. More random ones, no idea. Here's another set. This is separate, it's just stuck in here. It's a set of 12 here. These would be easy to make, 2 colors. Seasonal to show. A lot of these are random things just picked from different sets or smaller ones, yeah. These are the Edo firefighters. The firefighting system worked on a very local system, local groups. And they each had their own symbols and emblems and names. There was competitions of skills. Some of those still go on here in January. And this is a set of different firefighters groups around town. This is a funny set. I don't quite know. I guess it's a sports set, but done in skeleton style. I'm not quite sure why. Here's the, let me zoom in a bit more here. It is. It's 12 sports. And here they are. And this would be, again, the same era. What is it? It's tennis. This is it counted as a sport? What is he doing? Is it horse riding? Is that a sport? Boxing. Diving and or swimming. Javelin. Are these Olympic sports that we're on? The Olympics were supposed to be held in Tokyo. What was it, 1937? They were awarded to Tokyo, but it didn't happen because of the war with China. They went to, I think they were taken away at the last minute. They were sent to Helsinki, but Tokyo was supposed to have the Olympics in the 1930s. This may be something to do with that. And maybe after the Olympics were taken away, this set was made. I don't know. I don't know the background. That looks like rugby. Shot put. No idea. Some kind of running. Football / soccer, baseball, skiing. It can't be in the Olympics because we're mixing winter and summer. And then golf. Yeah, the Helsinki Olympics were supposed to be the Tokyo Olympics. It didn't happen until the 1960s. 37 or 38. There must be the winter then, 1938. It was supposed to be Tokyo or nearby Tokyo. I don't know the details. There's definitely that the Olympics were already awarded to Tokyo in the 30s at some point. And then it was rescinded because of the war. Tokyo was at war, Japan was at war with China at that time. So says my quasi-remembering of history. You're saying 36 Olympics were Berlin. That's nothing to do with Tokyo. Then the next one, they went to Helsinki. So which year was the Helsinki Olympics? 38? Anyway, whatever. I can look at it later. Okay, I know. Is the paper there mounted on safe? Not really, no. It's just a generic paper. And you've seen some of these, I know. You've seen some of these albums that I show you where the mounting paper is totally foxed. In those cases, we tear them off the mounting paper. For me, it would be very, very difficult to get these off this paper. This is a really strong paper. It doesn't seem to be decaying very badly. I think for me, I am going to leave these prints just as they are. This paper does not seem so bad. And I can't get these off without an insane amount of work and an insane amount of potential damage. So I'm going to leave this album just pretty much as it is. The album I showed you last week, those Saint Schaffler prints, the mounting paper was totally, totally rotten, and we have to get those off to save them. Somebody's found it. 1940. Okay, there it is. All right, yeah, so they were awarded to Tokyo first, then went to Helsinki. At least I remember that much correctly. So. And then they came to Tokyo again in, what was it, 1964, and that's when the famous Kamidarimon, the gate in front of Tokyo here, that was built before the Olympics came in 1964. The best example of PR ever created in the world. Okay, there's nothing else to do here, guys. This morning I've screwed it up because I didn't get the paper wet, so I can't do my actual work for you this morning. So there's no point in just blathering. We had a little quick show and tell. I'm just going to wrap this up now. Cameron will be here in a few minutes, but there's nothing else to show and talk to you about today. So I apologize for the screw up, not having my regular work done. I will be doing that with Suga-san sometime this afternoon. I'm going to steal her. This is a bit of an emergency situation for me now. So I'm going to steal Suga-san from her normal printing this afternoon, do a quick color thing on this today. And then tomorrow's stream, we could be up and running. We could be in production on this print tomorrow morning. Or if I'm not able to get the paper ready, or if we don't do a perfectly good, color sample, if I might need more carving, I don't know. So tomorrow morning could be more testing. Perhaps it'll be level 2 of testing the colors. It could be maybe fixing the carving if she finds that we have things we need to fix. Or if I've got nothing else to do, it might be back in the octopus carving to fill in for a day. I don't know what I'll be doing. So sorry about the confused stream this morning, guys. We'll be back at this tomorrow morning. Win some, lose some. Okay, thanks for your patience with my confusion today here. I'll see you tomorrow. Sorry about this. Right? What chaos, what chaos. But at the end of the day, a bunch of good prints gets made for people to enjoy down the line. Yeah, that's the end of the day. All right, thanks guys. Bye-bye.